Hey everybody, RobbieTwoScraps here. Let's talk about Dodge Caravan oil change. This is a 99. It's the 3.3 liter. First off, you got to get your jack for your hydraulic lift here. This is a 3-ton, and I like to put it right on that piece. Seems to work out really well. Then you go and put your jack stands in. I like to keep them right there, and then we're just going to lower this onto those. So just watch that lower a little bit, and we're all set. All right, so next step, let me show you what materials we got. All right, so here are my supplies. I like Quaker State and 5W30 is what this takes, and then also Pure Later Pure 1. So that's what I'll be using. All right, I'm warming the engine up to get it to operating temperatures, and then we're gonna get under the car. One thing you want to make sure you do is remove this oil cap. That'll help it flow better once you take the plug out. All right, so let's get under the car here. All right, so here's under the car. Oil pan, very important. Here is the oil reserve. This is the oil filter. And back here, that is oil plug right there. So I'm gonna get a socket wrench on this, and we're gonna get that out of there. It looks like we got a little oil leak in here, but that's not too bad. This is also a good time to just check underneath your car and see how everything's looking. Very rusty. All right, also I like to put down some cardboard just in case there's any mishaps. Easy cleanup. All right, let's put a socket on that oil plug. Okay, there we go. That was on there nice and tight. Okay, so make sure you got your oil pan under there, and just be ready because the oil is gonna come out. You're gonna get a little bit when you're taking the plug off. I personally, you can drop the plug in the pan, but that's not my preference. All right, there we go. All right, spewing out there. It's nice and black. Wow. All right, that is quite black. So one thing you always want to do is make sure you have a rag handy. Get your rag, wipe down your fingers, your plug, and just let this sit for a couple minutes. Let this oil drain out. The longer you can let it sit, the better. I mean, more of this old stuff you can get out, the better. All right, next we'll do the oil filter. All right, so there is the oil filter, and as you can see, it's upside down, so there will definitely be some oil coming out of that. So just make sure your pan's underneath that, and put your cardboard underneath that as well, because you're definitely going to be dripping some oil out of that. And usually these are very tough to get off, so make sure you ate your Wheaties that morning. All right, so I'm going to loosen this up, and actually, let's just give it a whirl here. See if I can get my camera on that. Okay. All right. So, move the pan over so we can catch all the drippings, because there's definitely going to be some of the drippings. All right, so get under here. They make tools to get these out, but unfortunately don't have any handy. All right, so it's loose enough to do by one hand. So let's just make sure that pan is under there, because it will get a little oily. As you can see, the oil's coming down. Try not to do this on a windy day either. That doesn't help matters any. Alright, there we go. Just dump the rest in the oil pan and let it sit for a bit. All right, let that sit for a little while longer, and then we'll put everything back together. All right, now I'm going to put the oil filter back on, but before you put that on, take a little dab of this old oil and just rub it on this seal right here. I'll make a nice tight seal, and just screw that sucker back on there. Okay, make sure it's nice and snug. Okay, so that's nice and snug there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this oil plug back in. And it looks like there's just a tiny little bit of oil still dripping. If I had a little bit more time, run out of daylight here, I'd let that drip a little longer. But running out of light here, so I'm just going to put that back in. Okay, and it's a 13 millimeter to snug that up. So I'm gonna wipe all this down. There's little oil remnants here and there. Just wipe some of this stuff down. All right, now it is time to tighten up the bolt, the oil plug here, and time to put in some oil. Now I've been Googling around because I don't have an owner's manual, and everything I find says the 3.3 liter takes 5 quarts of 5W30, so that's what I'm going to put it in. Okay, so it's time to pour the oil in. Got my funnel here, and like I said, I'm using Quaker State 5W30, and I'm putting in 5 quarts. I always hate this first pour. Okay. Oh, I got this backwards. Supposed to be doing it the other way so the air can flow. But we'll be alright. Alright, so once you finish putting the oil in, put the cap back in, then go ahead and check your engine oil here. Should be at the max hash line. If not, maybe you didn't add enough, but it should be right there. There's a little bit of oil that's going to go into the filter because there's none in there right now. But outside of that, you're done. It's a good time to check some of your fluid levels, see what those look like. But outside of that, you're all set. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Also, check out my Caravan alternator video. I just replaced that probably 2 months ago, and it's still working. So I guess I did a good enough job. If you got any questions, let me know. RobbieTwoScraps out.